Hey everybody, this is your girl, Queen Larica. I just want to start off saying Happy Father's Day to all the fellas and all the mothers who plays the father role as well. Even though I'm transgender, I celebrate Mother's Day now, but if you still say that, I accept that too. I want to talk about the Confessions 4 video, the story of Larry Dwayne Hart Sr. being molested. That video now is at 14K, and I am so grateful that that video has caught on fire. It is sizzling now, and I just want to thank you. The first time. Thank you. And I just want to tell all the viewers that I appreciate you. I am most grateful for all of y'all of sending the message all over, because I want that message to every planet in the universe. And I need the viewers to take it there, to keep sharing it. Sharing like it ain't like you ain't never shared another video in your life. But I'm doing this video to talk about a lot of things of dealing with how you feeling being molested. When a child is being molested, they do not feel worthy. It's something goes on in the child head that they be very standoffish, and the behavior levels of that child changes. And a lot of parents really don't pay attention to their child when they zoning everybody out, or they changing their routine, and that child don't know what to do. When a child being molested, it do something to that child brain, because you never know what the abuser said to them. Sometimes the abuser threatens the child like they're gonna hurt the mother or whoever is, protecting them. So that child does everything in their young power to protect you. Even though that may not be the case, but in that child heart, that child would do anything to protect their mama or their auntie or their cousin. The child would do anything to keep it a secret. But in my situation, it wasn't nothing for as threats on my end, because once my grandmama told me, keep my mouth hush, go back to bed and don't tell nobody, what the purpose of telling? And that had, like I said, it had put me in a frame of mind that I thought that all boys went through that. At that time, I was a boy. So in a child head, that child is in full fear of what that person might do again, and to the level of what they might do. A child just cannot open up and just say, "Mama, uncle, touch me." If that child feel like there's a real bond between you, that child gonna tell it like I did my mom. But sometimes that child is threatened to keep their mouth closed. By me going through that mental and physical abuse from my uncle, Aaron, as I was growing up around my family, They noticed that I got in the streets and started being violent, and I didn't care too much about school no more. I used to study, used to win spelling bees and all this and that. Didn't give a fuck no more because nobody wouldn't listen. Sometimes a child cannot say it verbally, but they start showing that something going on with them through their actions. So as the parent, you tell yourself, let's take this person to counseling, or they going through a phase that is not a phase. You don't listen to your child. And I want to tell the mothers or the aunties or the grandmothers, don't blame yourself. Don't blame yourself. If you was a victim yourself, you have to blame the motherfucker who touched you. Even though people say that another person had to molest them, them persons at that time probably dead and gone. And no need to even worry about what another motherfucker did to them. It's all about what a motherfucker did to you. That what counts now. Then you have these certain peoples like those murderers in my fucking family trying to tell everybody that you lying and all this and that. Fuck what your family say to you. You do what you gotta do to protect you and your children. Can nobody love your children like the way you do? And by them being parents, if they are, they should know how you fucking feel. Also, as you being the victim of molestation, your attitude changes. And sometimes your demeanor changes. It's, for schoolwork, like I said earlier, but your interests and your feelings as you growing up sometimes start to waver from what normal society, what they think that they normal society say that you're supposed to be with. And sometimes you have these stupid ass daddies that when they see their son starting to be a little feminine or gay, they want to disown that child. How stupid is you, you fuck? You don't never disown your fucking child. Because if your child would tell you the truth, you'll drop dead. Because it probably was your fucking brother that molested your fucking son, you stupid ass dude. It probably was your sister that molested your son, you stupid, ignorant ass dude. As a child, being molested, I felt so fucking horrible. I felt horrible. Sometimes at night, I used to walk outside in the dark, in the front yard, and look up at the moon and the stars. And I used to talk to God. Because I used to hear my grandmama play the radio preaching all the time. And I heard this thing dealing with God, say he could save you, that he'll deliver you. And I remember a couple times at night when I was a kid, I walked in the front yard at night and looked at the moon and the stars. And I used to tell God, help me. I used to look at the moon and tell God to keep me living because these people don't love me. I used to tell God that one day I want to see them get what they deserve. Because nobody know that when you're a kid, that sometimes your uncles and stuff say a lot of shit around you because they think you're a kid and you ain't paying attention. How bad I used to hear my uncles talk bad about my fucking mama after she had her breakdown. And that made me so fucking bitter and angry on the inside because I just couldn't, I knew I was too little to do anything at that time, but I couldn't wait till I be bigger. Because my uncles never gave a flying fuck on how their sister children feel. And while I was being molested, when all that craziness was going on, I felt depressed. I felt like that nobody loved me because before my mama had a breakdown, she loved it me. And I tried to commit suicide. I remember that I was in my room all alone. And I was just tired of these people. I didn't want to be out there in no country. I didn't really know those folks. I didn't see my mama get beat. My mama done lost her mind. And here we got Ara, then we got other peoples, the ones who I haven't even named. But I will name them soon. I will do a video about my other undercover uncle. But he wasn't like Ara. Ara was the pit bull. That motherfucker just played with me maybe once or twice and he stopped. I'm gonna reveal that bitch ass nigga too. As a child, your nieces, well, your aunties and your cousins, thinking you just a child when you start to express yourself, and they think, oh, you just being the kid. But the fact of the matter and the reality is, that's not what it is. They pretty much showing you this is what the fuck is going on. I remember when my auntie Fluky came over with my cousin Mike, Timmy, and my cousin Nancy over one night. I remember I told myself that this is the time to show them Florica. I was real little. And I got dressed and I put on a hat and I put on some shades. But I didn't know that I was Florica. I just knew I was a girl, but I blended it in. And I walked in there and said, I'm Easy E. So when I walked in the living room, but from behind the curtains, everybody started laughing. But I didn't understand why they was laughing. I was really letting them see who I really am. And I'm hearing my auntie Fluga say, oh, she's so cute and all this and that, and she could be a girl. And my cousin Mike and everybody laughing, but I was the only one that wasn't laughing. So I remember my grandmama said, y'all take that stuff off that boy. And they just thought I was just being the kid, but not knowing that was me introducing to them that I am a girl. My brother Marvin, he have witnessed Larica around the house so many times. I remember when I first walked in the living room, Marvin was drawing. And when Marvin turned around and looked at me, his eyes bugged. And he had a smile on his face. He just shook his head. And I put my hand on my hip and said, here I am. My brother Marvin is the true witness to this, to this story. And when your uncles and your aunties come home, you metamorph back into that character. Every time. I am so grateful that that video is shooting across America and it's really shooting across the world because a lot of people from different countries have called and texted me through Messenger to tell me that they've been a victim of child molestation. Inbox me continuously saying that they was a victim. And I appreciate the ones that are not a victim. May God bless you. But for all my family, the viewers, the one who's the video touch, I am your fucking sister Larika. I am the queen of this shit. And that's a fact. I am your queen through Facebook. And I'm also a true queen in real life in this hood that I'm in. I'm so grateful for all you viewers that reached out to me in pain and tears. Mothers cry because they granddad or they mama boyfriend or they brothers done sexually assaulted them. But don't you know that generation that is before us? Matter of fact, I'll rewind. The generation that is behind us somehow was taught to keep their fucking mouth closed about this shit. Don't tell nobody. How in the hell you still going to church and call yourself a true fucking Christian when you know that somebody touching your fucking niece, touching your fucking grandbaby? You stupid bitch, you. You don't want to tell on daddy, or you don't want to tell on mom, or you don't want to tell on your brother, or you don't want to tell on your sister. What's wrong with you? By the abuser touching a child that is innocent, that is the worst feeling in the world to that child. The worst fucking feeling when you don't want to be touched like that. Shame on you. And I just want to tell all my sisters who felt my pain, to all my brothers out there who felt my pain, and that you've been traumatized and your life got fucked up. You know, you were smoking crack and you became an alcoholic and you became a whoremonger. You became a hoe out here in the streets. You became a gangbanger. I want to tell you that your sins are forgiven. Rise up and walk with me. Fuck what the family got to say. Do you. If you feel in some type of motherfucking way, you be your true self. Shit, why you want to worry about family now? They ain't give a fuck about you then. Shit, don't give a fuck about them now and walk and stand with me. Because this is a movement now. I just don't have no fucking love in my heart for those undercover faggot ass niggas that want to touch a fucking kid. Forgive me for my language, but I represent the LGBTQ community, not a molesting person. I have kids of my own. I never want my children to go through that bullshit I went through. When my grandmama made it see motherfucking whore, told me that shit about keeping my mouth closed, go back to bed and don't tell nobody. As a child, I hated her because if you made me and my brother call you mama. And when it was time for you to be a mama like my true mama did, when I first told my blood mama, Geneva Hart Gardner, that Avery was touching me, and you said that shit, that was the day I stopped loving you as a human being. And that's a fact. And I don't give a fuck what my uncles feel about it, because I hate them. I'll never forgive you for what you did to my mama. Because of this child molestation shit, my brother Marvin, he's in a mental institution in Duncan, Mississippi. And comes to find out, I had a call from my classmate, Johnny Mae McHenry, and called me the day that was having my Uncle Abram's funeral. And gonna ask me why I didn't go to the funeral. I told her, girl, I ain't finna go to that nigga funeral. That's the nigga that molested me. And I heard in the background somebody said, I figured that. So I said, Johnny Mae, who is that? She said, that's my husband, blank, that I ain't gonna say his name. Said, Abram came over come over house every day to drink with us. So I said, why you say that? Why did you say it? You figured that? He said, he dropped his head. I'm like, what's wrong? He shook his head. He said, Abram made a confession. I'm like, a confession? I'm like, about what? He said, Abram made a confession to me and said that he made a mistake with y'all, with his nephews out there. And I said, I can't believe that stupid ass dude for shit. I said, he gonna tell you the confession? I said, what else happened? He said, when my uncles Glenn and Jim and them came out there and confronted him, he said he lied. He told me that he lied. So I said, Glenn and Jim and them went out there? They was like, yeah. But he said he just couldn't tell them the truth. So I said, I already know, because he didn't tell my grandmama the truth. So I was just about to get off the phone, then her husband told me, saying, and also he made another confession. So I'm like, what? He didn't want to tell me. I said, come on, bro. I said, I need to know. What was the other confession? He hesitated, he raised his head up and told me, he said, what's your mama? And when he told me that bullshit, my brain rewinded all the way back to that day when I first told my mama. That's why my mama didn't even ask me no fucking question. She did not doubt me. Because Ava had molested her too, and I bet you, and I know without a shadow of a doubt that my uncles and maybe my auntie know about it, but they kept that shit a secret too. So I could give two flying fucks about that type of family. I've been on this, making this video for a while, and I'm about to get off. But I'm here to tell you, my sisters and my brother and my cousins that has been a victim to child molestation, I speak for you. And I thank y'all for being behind me and supporting my videos. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. If y'all want to send a donation to Queen Larica, send it to $15HOY. And I would most definitely appreciate it. Because a bitch don't even have nothing. I'm out here doing me. And I had my surgery Friday. One of my surgeries Friday. And I probably will do a video while I'm at the hospital. Just to let everybody know I'm finna go down, for y'all to pray for me. But I speak for you. I speak for your kids. that have been sexually assaulted. I speak for your kids, and I speak for you because y'all are my family. And I love you from the bottom of my heart, and I ain't gonna sugarcoat shit for nobody. For nobody. I love you, and be blessed today. Bye.